Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Yo,
what's up?
Are we ever going to see you in the studio again? Are you ever going to come back now that you know you can do this from your house?
I like I told you, I didn't know what the weather was doing, and that's why this Iowa weather, you could go inside for an hour and a half and come out, be a blizzard. And if I get caught down in your neighborhood, that's why people live on the north side. They get caught there during a snowstorm, and then they never leave. So that's
Is that what happened to my parents?
That's exactly right. I'm sure they were on their way to the Waukee or something. Got stuck on the north side.
You know, it's funny. You have all these people that never leave their neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then they have all these opinions on things, even though
like
they've
me,
never fucking left their block.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I still live in the same neighborhood I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like on purpose.
Yeah.
But I've spent so much time all over the country that I feel like I'm not one of those people because I've seen plenty.
Exactly. That's the same with me. It's like people always say, why do you live on the South Side? Because there's an airport. I can leave the South Side whenever I want. And I have times. But, but even if I was here all the time, I'm just a creature of habit. I just like it over here because I know where everything's at. I don't want to have to go look for stuff. I do that enough in my job over the years. I did enough times where I've gotten in a hotel room. Now I got to find a place to eat. Now I got to find Italian food. Now I got to find a dry cleaner. I don't, I like knowing where everything's at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I know where everything in Des Moines is.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
What do you like? What about where you live? Like, I mean, did you like the fact that you're 5 minutes from a Chuck's Pizza? Do you like?
Well, for me, I'm within a few blocks of my parents.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
most importantly.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, they may need me. Well, I mean, they are. If they need me for something right now, I can be there in 2 seconds.
Right. We're 4 blocks from Jenny's parents, and 3 blocks from my daughter. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if it doesn't have to necessarily be anything catastrophic. I mean, my dad calls me all the time, like, I need you to help me carry this thing. So I can go help him carry the thing.
We've been thinking about Jenny's parents. They're 94, 91, still living at home, but her father's had some health problems. And there's the 4 kids. There's the 2 brothers and the 2 sisters, Julie and Jenny. So they taking shifts. They're with them 24 hours pretty much. They take breaks, but they're always. So Jenny went and got a bunch of T-shirts that say Shady Pines retirement from the Golden Girls. So,
yeah, I think you'd mentioned that before.
Shady Pines staff shirts that they wear over there.
That's hilarious.
But I wanted to get them because I've heard it on the radio. Those rapid radios, the walkie-talkies.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last week.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's a good idea. So
you guys still haven't done that?
No, we haven't done it. We'll talk about it for a second. So anyway, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Chris earlier, and Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I don't know anything about him. I mean,
I don't either. I haven't, like, I think at some point in most of our lives we're just, see, you're a little different than me, but like, I don't listen to the top 40 stations. I don't know. I don't hear new music really.
Right. Yeah.
Like, especially now that everything's at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I choose what I want to listen to. I just don't hear new shit.
You'd like to hear a ska band at the halftime of the Super Bowl.
I would like what?
Ska band.
A ska band?
At the halftime of the Super Bowl. Only this is that halftime would be 6.5 hours long.
Oh, you're talking about a jam band.
Oh, jam band.
I would want a jam band. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I had my druthers, but
my thing is this.
I'm not dumb enough to think that'll ever happen.
When we were younger, I mean, and I know they've only been doing this halftime show for, I don't know, 20-something years, 30, whatever. I can remember when they would bring somebody like Prince on, and I can remember my older cousins going, "What the
Prince is the best one." That's my number one.
Yeah, but you know, the older people, you know, the PJs of the world, what the fuck am I watching here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was because they were older, and that was
that way with music. Yeah.
But I'm not that way. I don't know my rap experiences. I know Eminem. I know Sugar Hill Gang. I mean, I know Snoop.
Sugar Hill Gang.
That's it. That's who I know. I mean, I'm in a hip hop, a hippy diddy, hip hop. You don't stop. But
I'm, well, like for me, rap more or less ended in the 90s for me.
Yeah.
Like outside of, like, I think Outkast is the best rap group / duo, whatever you want to call it. Like, they're my favorite when it comes to, like, you know, kind of a group or whatever. And then, like, there's obviously Tupac and Biggie and Eminem. I never had all of Eminem's albums or anything. Like, I mean, I liked him when he came out.
If there was a big hit, I knew it. You know what I mean? I knew it. Like, you know, I used to like for a second. He had a couple big hits. Was Macklemore.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Macklemore was kind of lame, honestly. I mean, it was all right, but
about the Seattle Mariners now. You gotta love that.
It was like, I don't know. It was too poppy for me. It was like,
but yeah, Tupac, Biggie. I mean, Snoop.
Once rappers stopped having shit to say, I stopped listening to them. Yeah. Like, that's why I love Run the Jewels.
See, I never heard.
Run the Jewels is the newest, like, rap duo, whatever, that and they've been around a long ass time. Somebody turned me on to them probably, I don't know, close to 10 years ago, maybe. And that's probably the newest rap. But I never have given Kendrick Lamar a chance, and Kendrick Lamar obviously has some shit to say. So I am definitely gonna dive in a little more now, because that's what rap is to me. Rap, I always listen to rap for the lyrics. I wanted, like, clever shit that would, like,
clever. I mean, he's like a scientist with his stuff. I mean, it's way out there.
And so, like, once people started breaking down, like, I paid half attention to the show, the halftime show. We were playing pool. It was on, like, it was whatever, right? I knew about the whole beef with Drake. People talk about it all the time on Facebook and whatever else, but I didn't listen to anybody's songs. I couldn't tell you a single Drake song or a single Kendrick song, like, off the top of my head.
Right. Same here.
Somebody might play something, I might recognize it because I heard it in the background enough times or something, but I just never gave a fuck.
TikTok had the thing where you do the Drake song where you get out your car and you walk along the car, and something about
the TikTok thing. People were doing that. Yeah, I remember seeing
but
I remember seeing a couple of people do that. But so I couldn't tell you shit. But my son was here, and when he started doing they're not like us, my son, like, basically, I don't know. He's like, oh, he's playing it or whatever. And I started paying attention because I knew that was the song that was like a Drake diss, right? So I started listening. Well, I had no idea that he'd been calling like Drake a pedophile and shit, right?
Yeah.
And I heard
the
word pedophile and my ears perked up and it was like,
oh. Yeah.
And so I kept listening. And then when he said the line about trying to strike a chord, but it's probably A minor, I fucking was like, oh, this dude.
I guess they got like 10 or 12 diss songs against each other.
Yeah.
Back and forth. You know, and I never followed that. The only one I liked that was the diss was when Machine Gun Kelly went after Eminem. And then Eminem went back. Did you ever hear that?
Kind of, yeah. This is what we have in common or whatever. Yeah. I never really listened to Machine Gun Kelly, so the
only song I know is the one he disses the Eminem.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Rap beefs have a long history of selling records for both parties.
LL Cool J and Ja Rule, and I think there's a bunch of them like that.
I don't remember that, but the East Coast, West Coast stuff from back in the 90s when I was listening to rap.
Were you more an East Coaster or West Coaster, Billy?
Well, I was more of West Coast as far as like variety. But when it came to like Biggie and Tupac, I liked Biggie better.
Yeah.
But I liked Tupac.
Yeah. I love it.
But I didn't. The East Coast stuff was like Nas, and I liked Nas. But a lot of the like East Coast guys I didn't really get into at all. Like didn't really hear much of. Like a lot of the like at that time, like you would. It was almost like East Coast rap was older than West Coast rap because like
started on the East Coast. Yeah, I mean.
Well, and at that time when you would hear, like you'd hear like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example like Rakim or something.
Yeah.
It would have like these old, almost 80s DJ sounding beats. Like the music was weird and it almost seemed cheap. Like like somebody's just had some yeah, they had like a mixtape playing in the background and were just rapping to it and stuff like that. So that's what it sounded like to me. Or like EPMD and all these people that there were these rap groups and stuff, and I just had never heard any of it. And then I started listening to Wu-Tang a little bit, and I really liked Wu-Tang a lot.
Buddy loves Wu-Tang. Now, I don't think you've heard this story, but I'm gonna let our listeners hear it. That back in 96, I'm working out in Vegas at a hotel called the Maxim Hotel right off of Corvell Street. My show ends. I'm playing craps, and it's right by the front door of the casino. I'm playing, having a good time. Next thing I hear some commotion outside. I run out to the front of the hotel. I look to my left down the street. I see a car go up on a curb and kind of land there. And I don't think nothing of it. Next thing I know, cop cars and everything. It was when Tupac got shot.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I was 100 yards from it.
I had no fucking idea. That's the first I've ever heard that.
It was the weirdest thing. I walked out there. I saw the car. I mean, I couldn't really see what was inside, but I saw the car and I saw it land. I went, oh, fuck something. So I kind of got back inside. I said, shit, there's something going on. And I went inside, didn't know anything about it. Later on that night, I turned on the news, and that's when they said Tupac got shot.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, I think it was 96, I think.
It was 96. I was in college. It was my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
Because I graduated in 96 from high school.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the first half of the next school year is still 96. Yeah. So, because that happened in what month was that?
I want to say it was like early fall.
I feel like it was like September or something. Yeah.
But the Tyson fight. That's where all
Tyson Holyfield.
Yeah. And it was. I don't know if it was.
I was at that fight. You know.
Were you really?
I was in the MGM Grand when that all happened.
But
where bit his ear?
That was the famous Marty Terrell screwed my father over story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was for that fight.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
so what did you
We
guys?
were walking around looking for
up?
Marty Terrell to give us our tickets.
Got with that number right at the
end. So you were at the MGM.
We were both
and you were supposed to go to the fight, and you didn't have tickets.
Me and Chris were there with Tupac, guys.
That's crazy.
That is nuts. Yeah.
It was the same night.
Yeah, yeah.
Of the fight.
The fight happened.
Oh, that's right, because he went to the fight.
Out in the lobby, Tupac got in a fight with some gang dude that I think recently they rearrested. And I think that he was the one that they're going to charge with the murder. And
got in a fight with him in the lobby of the MGM.
Yeah, yeah. And they got in the car and they took off, went down the street, and they were on the strip, and they turned right onto Corvell, and then they shot him somewhere around there, and then his car rolled up on the corner up there. Yeah.
Damn.
Crazy.
I couldn't even tell you like Corbett. I couldn't tell you street names.
Yeah.
Like what the strip is the strip. What is the street just called the strip?
It's called Las Vegas Boulevard.
It's called Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah.
So where is Corbell?
It's on the corner. It's Flamingo.
It's on the corner of MGM, like right off of the.
It's farther up. It's where ballets. Okay, you know where it's actually goes parallel, but you know where the street he was on was. I don't know if it was Flamingo. It was right where Bellagio is and Bally's, which is now Horseshoe Casino. It was on that corner of the strip, and they turned to go. I don't know which way it is. They took a right, and they were down that way. There was dry cleaners down there, and it was crazy.
I was just trying to think about where, because I remember like right around that corner from the MGM was the weed shop I went to.
Well, really?
So I was like, ooh, I wonder if he got shot by the weed shop. I don't know why it would matter or why I'd care. But
you didn't like Vegas because the first place you worked was downtown. You always told me you never cared for it.
Well,
and that was a long time ago.
Vegas is just another gig to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I got you.
Vegas itself as an entity doesn't move the needle. Like I'm not a gambler, so.
What city do you like? If you had to go on vacation and hang, what city appeals to you?
If I wanted to relax,
yeah, just go have a good time. You wanted to bring your girl, or you want to go hang with your partners? I mean, it's always Vegas. I mean, I enjoy it. Although, I mean, I don't mind San Diego or something like that. But I mean, if I want to go have fun, Vegas to me is still the place I want to go.
Well, I think Vegas is fine with your buddies and stuff. But like, if you got a bunch of money to spend, like I would need to go to Vegas in order to like truly have a really good time in Vegas. Yeah. I would need to go with a lot of money where I could go to a bunch of shows and shit.
Right.
Like,
I got you.
And I could go to the gimmicky shit. Like I could go to the Blue Man Group and like all this other, crazy ass shit or whatever.
David Copperfield, Terry.
Yeah. Yeah, shit like that. Well, Terry Fader. I don't know about all that. But
Carrot Top.
Did you ever watch fucking that? Dwayne Clark gave me this documentary when Dwayne used to burn us movies all the time and stuff.
And hobo fights, yeah.
There was this one there's a documentary called Dumbfounded.
I don't think I ever saw it.
It's about fucking ventriloquists.
No.
And Terry Fader's in it, and he's like the fucking king shit,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I remember it because there was this dude that was featured heavily in it who was he was a big cruise ship guy.
Uh-huh.
And he was going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically his wife told him she was going to leave him while they're filming this fucking thing. Like
it's either me or Chuckles or something.
He's like on the fucking dock. He's like on the He's like on the dock next to the next to the boat and shit, And she's like, and he's turning to the camera talking about how he's gonna she's leaving him and yada yada yada. And so he proceeds to he's kind of talking about how he wants to save his marriage, obviously. And so he was trying to get different gig, because on the ship he would be gone for several weeks, even a month, right?
2-3 months sometimes.
Yeah, and so like he was trying to go back to doing clubs and stuff, so he'd only be gone like a few days a week and would get back. Well,
but the dummy wanted to stay on the ship, right?
Well, check this out. So, I end up opening for this fucking years before I saw this movie. I was opening for a ventriloquist, and I was literally making fun of him all week because Scott, the old bartender Scott, God rest his soul, I was making fun of, like, I was like, all you have to do to be a ventriloquist is smile the whole time. Like, you'd watch the guy and he's just up there and he'd be singing like, please let me call you sweetheart. Like and he's, oh, you're doing something. Oh, I'm not doing anything. So I'm making fun of this fucking guy all week. And I remember I was taking him to the radio in the mornings and stuff. So he's like in my car.
Did you bring
him to the airport?
Did the puppet come with him out the whole place?
Well, he would I would catch him. He was a real downer the whole fucking week. And he was just, it's like he was fucking depressed or something, and I look over, he's just like, he'd be one of those guys that's just looking out the window the whole time that you're driving, and you try to kind of talk to him and he wasn't even hardly paying attention to you, and I'd look over and I'd see him like he was rehearsing conversations or something. Like I'd see him, he'd be like, yeah. And I'm just, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this guy. So I see this movie later, and that's the dude.
Yeah. Well, you can't remember.
So I feel like his name was Dan something. I could find it. Like, you could look up the fucking cast of this movie. Yeah. Chris, look up it's Dumbfounded, it's called.
Billy?
But it was him, and I happened to be working with him at the moment when he was trying to save his marriage and doing the club work. And he wasn't cut out for it, man. I mean, he was eating a fucking dick every night. It was bad.
I worked with several ventriloquists. Some of them are weirder than shit. Like, I mean, you hear, I had this one that used to talk to his dummy when no one was around.
Yeah.
Arguments. I walked in one time and he was playing a video game, and he had the puppet on his arm, and the puppet was telling him what to do. There was no one around. Now, the coolest one I ever worked with didn't do that shit. He kept the puppet in the fucking box. And here he is right here. Willie, Tyler, and Lester. That's around the same time I saw Tupac get shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, Willie, Tyler, and Lester, he was cool. He just kept Lester in a fucking suitcase. He didn't give a fuck. I got drunk one night. He went in there. I had Lester out of the suitcase, and I told him I wanted to cut his hair and give him a fade like Arsenio Hall. And he just laughed his ass off. He thought it was funny and shit. He's still working. He's like shit. He's like 80-something. He's still out there fucking kicking it. But I mean, he did amazing shit. He was on that Soul Train bus back in the days when they had like the Temptations and Stevie Wonder, and he traveled with them. He was like an opening act, but just a cool fucking guy. I mean, he understood that was just, that was part of. I mean, but most of these guys can get weird. Just get weirder and shit.
Yeah.
Mark Johnson have him every once in a while. He had this one guy that come in. I can't remember his name. They had these dragons that were electronic dragons. They would sing Bohemian Rhapsody. And then he was the first one I ever saw where he left the puppet on the stage, got in a fight with the puppet. And so he left him on stage and said, see how good you are by yourself. And then he walked off stage and he left, and all of a sudden the puppet's eyes came over and you start looking around. Electronics, right? And back then it was like pretty cool. Crowd would go crazy. Where now it's just like, okay, great. You got a fucking electronic puppet. Big deal, Weird.
Who was the guy that did he had like the whole football team?
Oh, Bob Nelson?
No. Was that? Yeah, there was that guy. Okay, I'm confusing him with a different guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was, or he did a whole choir.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think his name was like Heath Hyde or Heath. Does that ring a bell?
What's his name?
It's like Heath Hyde or Heath.
I know.
He was on one of those fucking America's Got Talent shows or something at one point. And he did like this one bit where he fucking was like a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
And it was so racist.
Well, then you loved him. Then.
Like he put on like kamikaze glasses, you know, and he would be like, oh, and he was like doing the voice and shit. I'm gonna fry a brain.
You know, Ben Hewlin used to do linking rings, and he used to wear the glasses that have the Asian eyes, the little slit eyes.
Oh God.
Called rinking rings. And of course that got taken away. You know, Trump's back though. Fuck, I told him, I said, dig that fucker up. Dig it back up. Let's go.
Linking rings.
Rinking rings.
I know. It was the
yeah.
You link the rings.
You link the rings.
He was Asian, so it was rinking.
Yeah, exactly. The glasses had the little Asian eyes on.
Motherfucker.
You know, I think that little girl that won America's Got Talent, that's a ventriloquist, I think she's coming to the Funny Bone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Stacey Lynn or something like that's her name. I don't know what it is. But I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, she can sing like crazy. The puppet can sing. I mean,
Did she drink a glass of water?
I don't know if she does that, but
fucking gargle. God bless America.
So let me ask you a question. On your list of how you parody songs, ventriloquist, where does it where does that fall?
Song? Okay, so as far as my comedy cuntiness,
yes.
I hate song.
You hate
I don't hate song parodies.
Uh-huh.
Because song parodies take a little bit of talent to write, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I love Weird Al. Absolutely love Weird Al. So song parodies don't bother me. It's just regaling the crowd with a karaoke concert that bothers me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't change the word, you just string some songs together and maybe do some dances or something.
And the people go nuts because they recognize the song more.
100%. And then they say it's one of the best shows they've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And you just fooled them into thinking they saw brilliance.
There you go.
But all you did was a karaoke medley of nostalgic songs and maybe some new ones. But so that is my number one, because you did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like, even you could at least tell a story with the songs or something. Like, do something.
So you're saying that they sing the song and then just mid-song they rip off what they have on and they have something else on and go to another song.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I remember there was another guy I used to work with on the road a lot that did that. He had a whole fucking case. He would just do a bunch of costume changes.
Mm-hmm.
And same deal. Just songs, like he'd go behind the thing and Guns N' Roses comes on and he comes out with a fucking wig and fucking and then he goes back and does something else, and it's like Aretha Franklin, and he comes out with some fucking big ass titties and a moo and shit and a wig. R-E-S-P-C-T. And this is 30 minutes of his act, basically.
So let me ask you, at the end of the show, and he's getting a standing ovation. You have to go back up. What do you say? Do you say, give him a big round of applause, or what do you say? That was him. Good night.
Oh, no. I mean, if I were the host of the show, Well, I obviously behave accordingly. I'm going to act professional, like during the show, and I'm not going to go backstage and tell the guy he's a piece of shit. No. I'm just going to make fun of him on my podcast later. But it's like, so, like Craig Robinson, for example. Yeah.
He's talented, plays the piano and stuff.
Yeah. And he wouldn't really change the words of anything.
Yeah.
But he in a way weaved it.
Nah. I can't hear you. You've gone silent. Chris, Billy's gone mute.
He unplugged something. I'm sure. He's struggling over there.
Yeah, my God. It's like a kid with Down syndrome trying to work a Rubik's Cube.
Right? Nothing.
There
you go.
Hello?
You're back. Yep.
There.
Okay.
I can't hear myself, though.
Well, you're not missing anything.
Can't hear myself or Willie. Jesus Christ. I've been struggling with this fucking thing all night. I don't know what the problem is.
Why don't you back out and come back in? We'll play a break. Well, let's go to break.
Yeah,
we'll
take the break. Figure it out.
And then we'll come back in.
All
right.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
When energy meets precision, anything is possible.
I'm Carter Hawley, the Chief Energy Officer of the Iowa State Cyclones. I'm full of energy on and off the court, but nothing gives me more energy than helping families find their dream home. And that's where Green Beret Realty comes in. They're more than just realtors. They're a team dedicated to getting things right for you and your family, just like we get it right on the court.
No basket. That was on the floor before the shot. Out of bounds.
Come on. Can you believe that? You can't take that away from me.
That call was absolutely terrible. Are you guys cautiously trying to be this bad? I mean, does your mom not love you?
Have you seen how old my partner is? My back hurts already from carrying him all night. And I've heard enough out of you.
So you're gone.
Fine. Jim, are you blind? Basket's good. We've got a three-pointer. Sometimes it takes a team to get the call right. And when you're buying a home, you want a team that makes all the right calls. That is Green Beret Realty. And here's the best part. When you buy or sell a home through Dan at Green Beret Realty and mention this ad, he'll make a donation to the We Will Collective, helping student athletes like me thrive on and off the court.
That call's so easy, even we can make it.
Green Beret Realty, because getting the call right means everything. Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
Hey, I fixed it.
We're back.
I pulled the cord came out of the bottom of the mic. I didn't notice it.
See, I told you you unplugged something.
I knew I unplugged something. I knew that's what happened, but I couldn't, like, it just plugs in USB. So, like, I was fucking with the USB connection over and over again. But anyway, so yeah, we were talking about my cunty comedy.
With comics
like
agree with.
So then there's that, and then the guys that I don't know. I mean, outside of that, I can rationalize almost anything. Like I can look at, a lot of times, like, people that are super high energy just kind of get on my nerves. But, if there's some kind of cleverness to what they're doing, my biggest pet peeve is fooling the audience into thinking you're funny when you're, you know what I mean?
It's weird to me. I think, as we've gotten along and how the world's gotten more savvy, or I don't know, more savvy, but people, like, it's amazing to me. Like, for instance, like my buddy Jonathan still does magic, Ben Eulin. And it's to me how people, I mean, and they're so talented. They're very good at what they're doing, but it's amazing to me people still watch a magic show and still kind of see what's, you know what I mean? It's like that. I'm hard that people still get in disbelief. Like, oh my God, where did that come? How did you come up with that when everything now you can explain everything now, you know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah. I mean, they could probably go find a trick on YouTube. Like, figure out how they did a trick by searching YouTube for something.
And I guess what keeps these guys working is the fact that they are talented and they can do. I mean, a good magician. I mean, you watch him, like, with the cards and everything else. It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's a definite talent.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, a ventriloquist. I don't.
Do you think there's any new? I mean, how many?
I don't mind them as much as long as they're clever.
Yeah. It's kind of a dying art. The best ventriloquist act ever.
Otto and George.
Without a doubt. To Google Otto, because he died. But they were. I mean,
did Otto die before George?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I think don't Google Letterman or anything. He's good on those, but you have to find the ones where he's doing
where he's just dirty. Yeah.
The little puppet would yell shit. Your mother's cunt. Just like he had Tourette's or something.
Jim Florentine. Let's have a Jim Florentine and Joe Miller. You can admit that you're from Jersey. Nobody admits they're from Jersey. They're embarrassed. That's why they dug the Lincoln Tunnel, so they could sneak in and out of there at night. New Jersey, where a fart is refreshing. If you fart in a car in Jersey, they roll the windows up. Roll it up. That's a broccoli fart. Those are good. Don't let that out. They're very mild. So it's nice to be here. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I hope I do.
Is anybody staying in this hotel?
The Holiday Inn. They should call this the Shove It Inn. Welcome to the Shove It Inn. Wipe the fudge off the sheets before you check out. What a shithole this place is, man. I was trying to sleep today. I had the do not disturb sign up. That fucking bitch kept knocking on the door. Housekeeping, you check out. Housekeeping, die, you Guatemalan cunt. I'm asleep in here. All right. Okay, get out of here.
You Guatemalan cunt.
Come on now.
Shove it in. To shove it in.
That's a ventriloquist right there, buddy.
He's moving. He's like a bad one. Like, he's just moving his mouth, doesn't give a fuck.
The puppet head doesn't even fit on its body.
It's a horrible puppet. I was just thinking the same thing. It looks like he
best next to Charlie Chisholm, second best ventriloquist ever.
That's the thing. Like, there's on the did you find Dumbfounded? Did you look that up?
So all I found was like some killer movie. It was like a short from someplace. That's all I found.
Dumbstruck. Try Dumbstruck.
You never get the name right. You know, you have an idea of the name, and then you tell him, and Kirsten's got to look at it like.
Here we go. I found it. Dumbstruck. This is it. All right.
Yeah. So I feel like in this one, there's a section of it like there's like people who make dummies, like this person makes their own dummies all the time.
Here's the official trailer. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let's see if this will get me kicked off of YouTube.
Oh yeah, what, playing this?
I don't know. We'll see.
Why would it?
Check. Hey, check.
Oh yeah, it's about the convention. I forgot.
And now wink at you. I'm your puppet.
In 30 minutes, this place is going to be crazy.
Fucking haircut.
I came to my first convention and I just fell in love with the people. Everybody is like me, talk to themselves and play with dolls for a living.
She really loved it. I thought it would kind of end. She got older.
If you were to get sick, who would you go to? A doctor. I did 482 shows last year.
Just-
You meant settle down and get married.
Yeah, have kids and stuff. Puppet children.
Fucking mom. That's him. That's the guy.
I'm a ventriloquist. Get out of here. We were really struggling.
He went from playing Ferris festivals
He's
to
everybody's
the Las
hero.
Vegas Hilton, all within 1 year. Now we're getting offers from just about every major hotel.
Well, today I'm here to announce the signing of Terry Fader.
I'm overwhelmed and so incredibly happy. For somebody like me, it's truly mind-boggling. You know, I mean, I'm 42 years old and I've lived a completely normal existence up to now. And now all of a sudden I'm staying in this suite.
Here's 13-year-old Dylan Burdett.
Reggie, I guess he considers himself a pimp.
Oh, Dylan. Dylan, you can't do that anymore.
A figure to use, but that's his choice.
I can't walk very fast. I don't want to lay an egg.
Pretty much the rest of the family wants nothing to do with us.
I'm going down to get drunk. I can say things through the characters. If I said it myself, I'd be fired. I'd be slapped in the face. I think to myself.
You finish it. Okay.
What a wonderful world.
Yeah.
I'm watching that tonight.
You've got to watch it.
This is about, I want to say about 15 years ago. So I was in Vegas. I was bored. I went and got a puppet, a black rapper. He was a black rapper. He had chains like that guy had, and I had it. And I was screwing around with it in my room. And we had some friends that came to my show, and I brought the puppet. I didn't bring him on stage or anything, but I had this black puppet. And then I got bored, and I had to go get him a girlfriend. So I got this little white nurse, and that was the black puppets. And I had him for the longest time. And as a matter of fact, one time I was in Des Moines, and one of our friends, his daughters, was in school at Sacred Heart, first grade. And she said, "Can you come do a puppet show?" And I went.
No, you didn't.
I brought my little puppets. And I just talked to the kids with the puppets. I had this black rapper and the nurse. Sacred Heart. I did.
How old were the kids?
They were like kindergartners.
So
great. I can't throw my voice or anything, so I just kind of like I put them in front of my face so you can see me. And my brother, I gave the puppets to his son a long time ago, and he said he's going to give them back to me. When I get him, I'll
How racist were you when you were doing?
Well, with the children, I wasn't. But when I was with my friends, well, why do you think I got the white nurse?
I can already hear all the conversations that you're having in your hotel room.
The puppet.
Where it was perfectly safe.
The puppet's name was Bobby. Yeah. Could have had another career.
What was the nurse's name?
Bitch. I don't think I gave her a name. I'm gonna get him back from my brother. I'm gonna have him send him back to me. And what I'm gonna do is one of these podcasts, I'm just gonna bring him, and you're just not even gonna know, and he's gonna show up.
Oh.
He had
and Chris,
big cloth head, but he had like arms that were down, so they gave you a stick for one of his arms. So while you would talk, his arm would go with the stick, so you could move his arm around.
And Chris thought that the joke book was gonna get us canceled.
Oh my god!
Wait till I bring Bobby.
Wait till he brings Bobby in the bitch.
Interracial puppet.
Yeah,
that might cross the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Interracial puppet relationships.
Yeah. Bobby had some chains and shit. He was bad. He had sunglasses. I think I lost him when I was in Vegas.
And why did your brother have the puppets?
Well, his son was like about 7 or 8. He saw him over the house one day and he liked them. So I let him adopt.
Uncle Willie just gave him the puppet.
It's right.
He said, here, go ahead and pretend anything you want with these.
It's right. But now he's like 17 and he doesn't want them anymore, I don't think. So I'm going to have him send them back.
Did you?
Haven't you ever had a puppet before?
No. Not. Yeah, no, not like that.
Do you have imaginary friends when you were a kid?
I tried to, but I wasn't buying it.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
Like I did though. Like I remember seeing like you'd see like Sesame Street or something, or you'd see something where somebody had an imaginary friend, they'd be like, hey, some kid that doesn't have any friends at school is like, yeah, well, I got so and so, and whatever. And so like I remember like being by myself at different times, like bored trying to find something to do, being like, oh, I'll have an imaginary friend and that'll be fun. And it's kind of like religion. I just couldn't buy it. It wasn't really there. It was.
I think your imaginary friend caught you whacking off, so you killed him. So, he saw you in the shower with doing.
Did you ever see Drop Dead Fred?
No.
Oh, it was a fucking terrible, like late 80s, early 90s movie where this girl had a fucking imaginary friend that was the reason shit would get fucked up all the time. Turned out to be real or something. I don't even really remember, but it was bad shit. It was fun.
No.
The weirdest thing. Okay, so I had. Did you ever have like a stuffed animal or something that you like practice making out with?
You know what I had? I mean, I had a catcher's mitt when I was little. My catcher's mitt. I brought that.
You fucked a catcher's mitt?
I didn't fuck it. No, I didn't. Why is everything when you were a kid you had to fuck it? Why can't you hear me? I don't think you heard me. Why you gotta sexually violate everything you have?
I don't think you heard what I said before that.
What'd you say?
I asked if you ever had like a stuffed animal or something that like you practiced at making out with when you were a kid. I don't think you heard me, and then you said I had a catcher's mitt.
No, I didn't.
No, I was just fucking. Oh shit! I didn't have. I had a catcher's mitt, and boy, did I oil that thing too much.
Did you have a stuffed animal that you were molesting?
So, me and my brother used to.
Oh my god! You banged a stuffed animal.
Me and my brother used to pull trains when we were kids, dude.
And that's why you don't want to get snowed in on the north side.
But I'll bring Billy over, bringing the nurse right now.
So my brother had Do you remember Wrestling Buddies?
Yeah, I do remember those.
So my brother had, he had Ultimate Warrior, and I think the other one was Macho Man.
Sounds like a
I
bad.
think. And so we would like, we had bunk beds, right? We had to share a bedroom. So each one of us would have a wrestling buddy and like pretend it was our girlfriend. Like,
that's fucking weird.
Weird.
So you were
like, I'm taking
Macho Man.
Well, they had the long. If you flipped them over, it looked like girls.
You really, you know what? I don't know if this is for a podcast. I think you really need to sit down and talk to somebody. I'll tell you, I don't think me and Chris are the right people that you should be bringing this up.
We tried that the last podcast and we had to cancel it.
I'd be like, hey, like, because like, you know, you never like, you had brothers.
Yeah.
Right. What was the closest brother in age you had?
My brother, he was
how close was he?
16, 17 months.
Okay, so you guys were almost the same age.
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't ever like just like make believe shit together, like
my brother Johnny was so smooth, he was getting pussy by the time he was 8. Matter of fact, I can remember one time, and we had a babysitter who was not that much older, and Johnny, I was in the other room, and Johnny was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, and said, "Come here," and I went in the other room, and she was naked. He talked her into it. I mean, nothing happened, but he just said, "Look at that there."
Hey, all right. No, but like you didn't ever like make believe anything. Like, hey, I'm fucking, I'm Clark Gable, and you're fucking.
How fucking old do you think I am? Jesus Christ. Okay.
You never did that? You were never like, you just, I'm,
who are you? Forget about me being Clark Gable. Who were you? I want to know who you were.
No, what I'm saying is like, it's in that same, like, like when you play house, right? Like maybe you and you'd have a couple of girl cousins and another, and you guys would play house, and one was pretended to be the mom, and you just did normal mundane shit, like it's dinner time, and or you played school, you know, and somebody would be the teacher, and blah blah blah. So like me and my brother, we would be like
with these two wrestlers.
Yeah. But they were, you know, they weren't Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior in that moment.
Yeah.
It was like Shakespeare. Dudes had to play the female parts. It's so, you know, Macho Man. I don't remember who had who. Yeah. You know, we didn't switch them, at least. You know, you got to give us that.
That's good.
But I just remember, like, we would be pretending to be like cool dudes with girlfriends, you know? Yeah. And so it'd be like, hey, we just go, I'm gonna go over there and fuck my girlfriend. Climb up in the top bunk and he'd be in the bottom bunk. Yeah, we'd just be like,
Were these those puppets that like, were these those little dolls that like if you squeeze its hand it would like say something like Ted? Like if you squeeze his hand and say, "You're in trouble, brother," or something like whatever Macho Man's saying was.
No, you're up there. I'd be up there humping the Macho Man and hit the button and be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, that's right. The Macho Man. You know what? I'm not. I'll go to matches with little Billy, but I'm not sitting next to you because God knows what's going through your. Got half a fatty over there thinking about your childhood.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna go fuck Macho Man. You go fuck Ultimate Warrior.
I don't know who got the better deal there.
Well, you know, the thing, Ultimate Warrior painted his face. Like, you could have totally pretended Ultimate Warrior was a girl much easier than Macho Man because he had like a beard and sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so, like, you know,
but
you had to.
But you flip them on their stomach.
That's right. You flip them over.
God. People are going away from this podcast just having nightmares.
It was like a pillow, they were like pillows. Did you know what they look like? Do you remember them?
Yeah, weren't they just? I mean, they were.
Chris,
like,
pull up pictures of wrestling buddies.
Let me see.
Those have to exist in the world. You have to be able to Google image wrestling.
Billy, maybe you should come up with some new wrestling buddies. The ones that have the little glory holes in them. So you can.
That's something that popped in my brain so many times.
Oh my God!
But never actually.
Yeah.
See, there's got to be some old school like Google images of the ones that we had when we were kids, because that's like a
dwarf, Billy. That's not good.
It's like some shit you can actually buy or something. It's not the same thing. Like they look like pillows.
Yeah.
I mean, they were basically pillows. But they were made. Yes, there they are.
Oh my God!
That's my girl right there.
No!
Oh yeah, see? Clap them cheeks, baby.
Oh my God!
See, man, all you had to do is, cut a little hole, pour some warm water in there.
Oh God! Wow. You know what? I know what
just let the ass fucking.
I know what someone's getting for Christmas.
Not for $225.
Oh yeah, I'll pay it.
Oh wow!
I'll pay it in a minute. Keep Billy happy at home. Look at Billy right now. It's like he just saw an old girlfriend. Look at
we reconnected after all these years.
Oh, God. Picture of its ass anyway. Apparently you weren't the only person.
Yeah, see, there's Macho Man. Look, there's Macho Man in the middle.
These guys are having a threesome over here.
Yeah, see, you got to admit there's something pretty homoerotic about them in the first place.
They're like little dwarfs.
Oh my fucking God, Virgil!
Yeah,
holy shit!
It pops up. He knows who it is.
Oh, see, now they're.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret, that actually looks like
this guy might have a problem.
Dude, Bret the Hitman Hart actually looks like a washed up porn star.
Jesus.
Look at that. It looks like a porn star that got all the lip work done and shit. And
Look
now
at this,
she's
the big boss
something.
man.
Wow.
Yep. Legion of Doom.
Jake's got his own snake over here.
Mm-hmm. I would have gave Jake my snake when I was fucking
11
or 12.
Never got.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I didn't.
So you never like.
Not really.
But look,
you never had like a fucking.
It's the earthquake.
You never had anything that you practiced on.
No, not really.
Okay, so I did.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody had something.
It was an old plastic lightsaber that you could like pull off the tube. You just slip that big tube right.
You fucked the lightsaber? See, Chris took it way further than me. You were fucking, dude, I was just dry humping some pillows, bro.
Oh no, I got oil. I got everything.
Oh my God, Chris made his own fucking fleshlight back in the day. That's what it was.
So he right before he climaxed, he yelled to infinity and beyond.
He's like,
"You are my father."
He's looking at fucking Yoda. Fuck lightsaber, you will.
God damn.
Oh, see, that was your American Pie right there. But I just like, so you never like in your adolescence, like let's say 12, 13-ish, like you weren't sitting around with some other buddies and like, oh, this, you gotta kiss like you gotta do this. like people try to teach you shit or help you.
Not really. Yeah, well, because I mean, I don't want. I mean, my daughter's gonna watch this, but I mean, when I was younger, I mean, we had little hoes in our neighborhood already. I don't want to incriminate, but if my brother Johnny was alive, I could tell him a name right now, and he would laugh his ass off because that was the girl in our neighborhood when we were little that was just doing whatever you want.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was always like I remember there were these two girls that were like they were like 8th graders.
Yeah.
Maybe. And I was like in 1st or 2nd grade. And they would like tell me they were gonna do shit for me or show me shit or whatever. I remember this one kid came up on his bike, said he was their pimp and they were hookers. So like I thought they were hookers for like a year. And I'd go fucking find them all the time.
And nothing. So then you go home and
I'd start bugging them.
And say, "You're gonna get it tonight."
I just remember them telling me I had to bring them money.
Oh.
And I showed up with a plastic cup full of change.
So did they just take it and not give you anything, or did they let you keep the money, or what'd they do?
I think they took the money and went and got like shit at, the convenience store.
When we were in junior high, we had this girl that lived up on the hill, and we had a buddy that was kind of like her pimp, and she wanted, like, you'd have to bring her a carton of cigarettes, or and there was a couple kids. One of them was a real young kid, and he tried to get up there, and she said, "I'm not doing anything with you. I'm getting in trouble." She said, "Come back when you're a certain age." And he came back the next year with his birth certificate. Swear to God.
See, now, and all that stuff right there.
Yeah.
Those are like those little cultural rites of passage or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, place that in another place, like I told you guys about the fucking little Colombian village where they fuck donkeys, right? I told you.
No,
guys
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have forgot that one.
I swear we brought it up on this podcast.
I
We were
don't
talking
think we
about
have.
other shit.
I don't believe.
So it's the Vice channel, right?
Yes.
So Vice did a story. I think this story was done kind of before it was a channel, so to speak. But it's a Vice story. They went down to this village in Colombia where the first sexual experience that most boys have is with a donkey.
For real.
So, yeah, it's like a rite of passage, like when they're like 12, 13. And like, I remember the funniest part of the whole story for me when I'm watching it was they're sitting there talking with like 4 different like adolescent boys.
Mm-hmm.
And one, like, you can tell like one boy, he might even be lying. Like one boy is basically saying he's fucked a donkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the other little boys like just intently listening to him talk about it. Like, oh man, he did it. Like they're thinking to themselves, like, someday I'm gonna do that. Like, and this kid's talking like he's so fucking cool. You know what I mean? And you're like,
fucker.
And he's just like, yeah. And he's speaking Spanish or some kind of Latin language. So you see the captions, He's like, you just walk up real slow and you reach underneath it. He's like,
yeah. Hola.
And so then at one point, the cab driver who had been taking them around the whole time went and fucked a donkey on camera.
What? Now, where did you see this?
We've talked about this a lot. I need a lot to be entertained. I need fucking train wrecks, bro.
Wow.
Shit has to be next level.
Can you actually sit and sit through the whole 2 girls in a cup and be all right?
No, I got to turn away from that. I never gagged though. Like I've seen people gag watching it.
Showed that to you for the first time.
It was a thing. I think I actually looked it up because I think Opie and Anthony were talking about it or something.
You know who showed it to me for the first
day.
time? Walked into his office.
Paul.
Yeah. He told me.
Yeah. Fucking Paul loved shit. See, that's why me and Paul were kindred spirits because me and Paul loved a train. Like
he did.
Paul really loved the train. Paul would set shit up.
Yeah.
So that he could witness the train wreck.
Yeah. Yeah. He without a doubt.
He loved the mischief.
Like when he had the club in South Bend. He had a hotel room, but every once in a while he'd stay with me, and I'd stay with him, and he had every porn channel you could get.
Yeah,
it stayed on that channel for the entire time you were there.
But yeah, so that the way I stumbled upon that was our friend Heather Jones.
Yeah,
from Omaha.
Sure, yeah.
Me and her were up really late one night, just like. That's one of my favorite things to do with comics is compare, like, show each other YouTube videos and shit that we've never seen or find crazy ass fucking movies and stuff.
Is this something where you got to be higher than hell with her?
Well, we were. I think we ate shrooms. I'm pretty sure we ate shrooms that night. Okay. But so there was. I can't remember what I showed her. I only remember what she showed. You show me mine, I'll show you yours. I only remember what she showed me. I don't remember what I showed her. But it was that story. Mm-hmm. And then there was another one where people were like in love with dolphins. There were two different people that had like.
I think we actually talked about that on Heather's episode.
Yeah, Heather's.
I'm almost sure we talked about dolphin sex on Heather's episode
because they were talking about. There's a difference between. Which they talk about this on Vice on that Vice story. They're talking to like a psychiatrist or whatever, but there's a difference between bestiality and zoophilia. Mm-hmm. Bestiality is where people basically rape animals, like they just fuck animals. They like to fuck animals. Zoophilia is where they are in love, and they think the animal is also in love with them, and they're in a real relationship.
My problem with watching any of that is the fear that I'm doing something to where the police are going to break in and grab my fucking computer and say, drag you away forever. You know what I mean? That would be my fear.
Well, there's a couple ways around that. You can get a VPN, and that would be the first thing. But
I hear people can get caught even on that, though. Who knows?
Also, if you're not a total piece of shit, everything will be fine. Like it's not like I'm looking up kiddie porn.
What happened to Billy? Well, they caught him home with a Macho Man doll, raping the Macho Man doll while he was watching someone have sex with the dolphin. So,
dolphins.
Oh God,
are one of the few animals that have sex for pleasure, like humans.
You know what? Let me ask you a question. How do they really know that?
I always wonder that shit too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
You don't know that.
So, because dolphins will perform all different kinds of sexual acts. Like they don't just do vaginal for breeding shit. Like dolphins have blowhole sex. They'll fuck each other in the blowholes.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
I don't know.
I swear to God, look it up.
I'm not looking it up.
I'm not looking it up.
What are you trying to do to me? I'm not looking anything up, okay?
I'm not looking that up. That's all I need is for Willie's door to get broke down and cops show up because he's looking that up.
Yeah. Come here, you dolphin fucker.
Nobody's gonna arrest you for looking up facts.
I'm not taking a chance on that.
So they do all the stuff. Like they do oral, they do anal, they do fucking blowhole sex.
Jesus God.
Here's what I wonder though about the dolphins. because the blowhole is like what they breathe out of, right?
Yeah.
So is blowhole sex essentially oral sex?
I knew that's what you were gonna ask.
Just the fact that my mind is going to take the time.
Because I can't. Can you see them like with all their teeth and shit? Like
Gonna get high and watch Flipper tonight, and go find his old
fucking rub one out,
cuddle up.
You know, Billaby, he's got 2 TVs going, watching old Saturday Night's Main Event with Ultimate Warrior and Flipper on the other channel.
Yeah.
And then I'm just looking. I'm like, look at the way Flipper looks at me. Isn't it obvious that Flipper's in love with me? Like I'm trying to remember. I was watching like an interview with a guy that I think it was a horse. I think he was in love with a horse, and he's like, you can just tell by the way it looks at you. Like, and I'm just thinking,
dumb horse eyes.
I'm just thinking, like, wow, you really think, like, my dog looks at me like he adores me all the time.
And he would cheat on me from you too. So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Willie had a fucking dog treat,
yeah,
he's forget about it.
Okay, I really got to put the brakes on. We got to transition.
I got you.
We're a little late, so I'm gonna run with this one, which I think is kind of interesting. On the Des Moines Reddit stream today, somebody asked, I'm moving to Des Moines later this year and was looking to see what the stand-up comedy scene is like, both seeing performances and doing open mic. I live in a city with 7 times the population of Des Moines, and even here it's hard to find a show, so I'm hoping Des Moines is better. Any suggestions of what to look up to and check out?
Go to Des Moines comedy scene, right, Billy? I think on and those people are
on the Facebook page. So somebody mentioned that, and I joined it, and I have shared this stream to that page tonight. So we'll see if we'll get any comments. But
yeah, I mean, this people that they have with the scene here in town they're accommodating, they're nice, they're helpful.
Totally.
Yeah.
Although, if it's that hard to find stage time in a place that's that much more populated than Des Moines,
was he New York?
How much stage time have you had? Like,
yeah.
Like, is it because
you suck?
Maybe you're really bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know, but you do. I mean, outside of it, really doesn't matter if there's a major club or two in town. It is hard to find some stage time just because you got to have people that are running open mics at bars, and people have to want to do that. You have to have somebody that runs that shit.
And a lot of times the people that are running are people pretty vindictive, and they don't want anybody to step in front of them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, sometimes the people get gatekeepery.
Yeah,
and people will. Sometimes somebody will run an open mic just so they can maximize their time. Like somebody might run an open mic, give everybody somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, but make sure they do about 45 throughout the night. That kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I do see the Lamp offers Monday open mic nights on Mondays from 8 p.m. to midnight.
Monday open mic nights on Mondays?
Yeah.
You're redundant, motherfucker.
I'm just reading what's on the card, so shut up.
Well, whoever wrote the card's redundant.
Okay, well then it's the Lamp. They're redundant.
But anyway, well, I mean, Teehee's is closed down right now, so there's none of those. They used to have like Wednesday and Thursday.
Some up in Ames, there's a couple up in Ames that they've been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go to them. I just see them on the thing there. But the Beechwood, they do it once a week. I know that. And it's Dan Anthem and
is that the underground one?
Yeah.
Is that at the Beechwood?
McGrath. They're great guys, and they're very helpful. So
yeah, they're you can't go wrong approaching any of those guys. Like, they'll help you out.
And they're very approachable too. Good guys.
But yeah, that's that was your fucking Reddit question. That's not even interesting.
There was not any good Reddit questions. It was a slow week at Reddit, to be honest with you. Very.
How
slow.
about let's talk for a sec, because I got this on my Facebook page for a minute. So all this stuff with Doge, right? With
oh yeah, Department of Government
Efficiency.
Efficiency, yes. Now, it's no secret that I think Donald Trump's a fucking scumbag. I've made no bones about how much I despise him,
and I don't
as a human.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if this is what people miss, like, if a lot of what they're finding is true, how can you possibly be mad about it? No matter how much you fucking hate them.
No, I agree. The only problem is that by taking a lot of people down, how many innocent people are going to get hurt in this? You know what I mean?
You can't. I feel like there's obviously, when you get these things, there's two sides of the fence, right? And both sides will exaggerate. One side's always exaggerating how much of a victim they are, and the other one's always exaggerating how much of a bully the other one is, right?
Sure.
So, like, you can't. I have trouble believing that they're taking these programs and completely wiping them out. I think what they're doing is more or less auditing said programs, right? That's what I'm hoping is happening. Now, if they're just putting an end to them because of a section of some fraud somewhere in some section of it, then that's a fucking piece of shit thing to do.
So my concern is this. This is my true concern. I'm with you. Government corruption and government efficiency, I'm all for it.
Like we've all been for years. Everybody, we can all agree, right? I mean, that's got to be a universal thing that the government has been spending our money inefficiently our entire lives.
100%.
Crazy thing, like they spent thousands of dollars on sushi or something. I mean,
yeah, the Pentagon was like millions on sushi. Like, you can't be okay with that. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Not at all. If you can verify that that's actually true.
Exactly.
He just today in the Oval Office, Elon Musk admitted that he exaggerated the numbers about certain aspects of what he's found. The whole condoms for Hamas was not necessarily it wasn't for Hamas. It was for Gaza in Africa to help stop the spread of AIDS.
Sure.
Which is under the U.S. aid program, which is a funded thing that was voted by Congress. And now everybody and their mother thinks that we're giving condoms to Muslims. And he just admitted today, well, I'm gonna say things that may not be true at the beginning.
Jesus. And
the problem is I have zero problem with somebody going in and doing a complete full audit.
Yeah.
But some dude that has not been confirmed by Congress with unfettered access with an agenda, because he's got contracts and things with the government, you don't think that he's going to not expose those? If you flip it and say Barack Obama was going to have a African national who was not confirmed have unfettered access to the Treasury Department,
exactly,
people would lose their fucking minds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Iowa just Governor Reynolds just signed this Doge thing in Iowa. You know what you could do? You could just let Rob Sand do his job every day, which is what he was elected to do, which is to audit the state's finances. But you took away all his power, and now you're exposing
you,
right? Because he was exposing you. So that's my problem. Is not necessarily. It's not even who does it. If they would have nominated him and he would have went through a nomination process and then been granted clearance and ran through an FBI screening and everything else, fine. But he's got like 23-year-old Semite kids.
I know
that are just to have unfettered access to our Treasury Department. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we should. There's plenty of forensic accountants out there. Like, you could have, done something like that for sure.
Also,
I don't disagree, but like here's what I have a problem with is like when people are like, they have no experience, they don't know how the government works, and they don't government. These people have spent their whole lives and that's the fucking problem,
right? Yes,
these people have spent their whole lives in government.
Right.
We don't want them
manipulate everything. Yeah, they know how to.
Correct.
Yeah. I want some. I mean, back in the day, I was working for Ron Paul because Ron Paul wanted to fucking gut the whole thing. But he wasn't a fucking reality show star, so nobody gave a shit. But a lot of what the idea behind what Trump's approach is a lot of what like Ron Paul was basically saying. Like he wanted to drain the swamp, but he really did want to drain the swamp. Like, you know, he's not going in there trying to make other people richer.
Right.
But I think like the Democratic Party right now is like,
they're in shambles.
Well, it's like the curse of it's like the Billy Goat curse for the Cubs.
Yeah.
It's the Bernie Sanders curse. They fucked Bernie Sanders 8
Yes,
years
they
ago.
did.
If they wouldn't have fucked Bernie Sanders, I feel like all this is like karma.
Yep.
Like, because everything I see all the leftists and liberals bitching about is all stuff Bernie Sanders would have done.
The Democratic Party has taken the democratic process of nominating their people completely out.
Yeah.
The fix was in for Hillary in 2016.
Yeah.
They were I mean, it was Hillary Clinton and three dudes I never heard of before.
Well, and that's why
then Joe Biden was pretty much slid in there, and then they just basically just installed Kamala.
Yeah. Well, that's why you know, if you go one way or the other, I feel like the Democrats are bigger bullies when it comes to getting people to do what they want, like voting wise and all that. Because I've gone to both caucuses. I've gone to the Republican caucus and the Democrat caucus, right? And I don't know, have either of you guys ever been to a Republican caucus?
I've been to a Democratic caucus.
Exactly. So if you haven't been to, I have been to both. And I'm telling you right now, fuck the fucking way the Democrats do shit. Because they straight up bully you into a candidate. Like, when you go to the Republican caucus, everybody just writes down who they want. You get one person gets to speak for each candidate. And so each precinct, somebody raises their hand, basically says, I'll speak on behalf of so-and-so, I'll speak on behalf of so-and-so, right? Everybody gets up, gives their speech about the person that they want, right? Then everybody writes down who they want. You count the fucking votes. That's it. That's it. It's over.
Yep.
The fucking Democrats are like, oh, there ain't enough people sitting over here. Into moving over here. And then they tell you can't fucking leave.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the Democratic caucus to fucking caucus for Andrew Yang, right? So I'm sitting in there. There's like 5 other people sitting there for Andrew Yang. Every other spot's got more people. And people are like, and I'm like, no, I want him. I don't want any of these other motherfuckers. The only reason I'm here is because I like this guy. Okay. And I'm leaving. And they literally have the door blocked with a fucking table. And I pushed the fucking table out of the way and walked out the door. I'm like, here, tear this fucking thing up. I don't fucking care. And this lady the next day was on the neighborhood Facebook page talking about how rude the Andrew Yang people were and how this guy tore up his ballot and threw it in her face. And I'm like, that couldn't be further from the fucking truth. You were straight up telling me that I, as a human being, can't leave this room.
But Billy,
until I go sit under Elizabeth Warren's name or something.
Everything is going to be okay because Google has now named the Gulf of America on the Google Maps.
Isn't that crazy?
The Gulf of America.
How can they do that?
I don't know how they.
There's got to be some kind of. I mean, everything takes a long time. I mean, there's got to be some kind of government thing where we got to vote on this or do something.
Right?
It's a fucking troll job, man. He just the guy is just trolling everybody.
Jesus.
Just fucking grifter. It's what he's been his whole life, is just a grifter, and it's just this is the biggest grift.
It's insane to me how these people follow in line with him. I mean,
sop it up like a fucking biscuit. It's crazy.
There was a bunch of things on Facebook the other day about people talking about what a bad person Taylor Swift is and how she's horrible.
Yeah.
And then on the other thing you see where Donald Trump is so good with children. It's like, are you fucking kidding? I mean,
how about all the talk about homoerotic? Have you seen some of the fucking pictures and shit? They'll post like these AI images of Trump.
Yeah.
Looking like fucking like you remember on Simpsons when the janitor will get pissed off and rip his shirt off and he's just fucking ripped.
Oh no, yeah, you can buy action dolls where Trump looks like, he looks like
he just looks like fucking he's all ripped like Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting there like
that's what our country's come to. It's fucking insane. It's insane. Oh, well.
Crazy. All right, we gotta get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, this was fun.
All right, we'll see you next week. Love y'all.
Billy, where are you going right now? Tell the truth. Going up to your room?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ask my brother where the Ultimate Warrior is.
All right, good night.
All right, peace.
Peace.